Go get it.
It's the NFL on EA Sports, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Niners and the Buccaneers, and it's coming up next.
On the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium, just north of downtown Tampa. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the San Francisco 49ers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Everybody, alongside my partner Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, when you and I were going through our final run-throughs at breakfast, we kept thinking tonight we're going to get to see a couple of very good passing offenses.
And we're talking about both sides having multiple receivers that could have an impact on this game. It's not just one guy that's going to make all the plays. If you take him away, maybe number 2, number 3, they make the big plays that impact who wins the game.
The veteran kicker, Robbie Gould, set to get us started. And off we go from Tampa. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. First try on offense for the Bucs and their veteran quarterback, Tom Brady.
Well, we've all seen what Tom Brady can do on a football field for a couple of decades now. But how about his most impressive accomplishment? Moving to a different franchise and taking them to a Super Bowl title as well. Not many players can continually stiff-arm Father Time the way that he has.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. To the air right away is Brady. It's caught by Mike Evans. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A good start offensively. 15 yards on the game's initial play.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Here's Brady. There's Evans again, complete. And some space here. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
And that, in a nutshell, shows you what this guy's made of. I mean, most guys in the NFL just can't do that. He absorbed the contact, refocused himself, and made a break for the end zone.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on first and 10. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a third.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. Looking back to the air on second down, it's Brady. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Bucs put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. Personally, for him, a great opening drive. He had 3 catches, including the touchdown.
That felt like tremendous scouting, great film watching, and creating a game plan to start this off, not only to get him involved, but to send a message to the defense. You have a lot to handle in this one.
Extra point put through by Succa, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive, 4 plays, and it's Mike Evans who caps it with a touchdown reception. is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. So here are the Niners now to get their first drive. They'll be led out by Mr. Irrelevant in the 2022 draft, a guy with something to prove, Iowa State's career passing leader, and that's Brock Purdy.
For every rookie prospect, there are always nerves involved in this moment. Running your team out to start a game. But there's a reason they brought him in. We're willing to make him their starter today. They believe he can overcome those nerves and lead his team to a victory. We saw him do it at the collegiate level and really make himself into a leader and someone you can envision doing the exact same thing here in the NFL.
They start on the ground in McCaffrey, and he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Purdy. Incomplete. Charles already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while.
And trying to get it to Samuel, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Jamel Dean. 3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him. And what I mean by that is what you said, 3rd and long. Got to push it downfield to try to pick up the first down. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. This could end up being a pretty big drive. I mean, look, yes, it's early in this game, but they scored the touchdown. They got the stop. And now if they could get in the end zone here again, CD, they could grab an early stranglehold on this one.
Yeah, they certainly can, and that's what you're looking for. Where's the advantage? Can you gain it? Can you press it? Now for them, finishing it off because right now...
He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Tom Brady with 2 first-quarter touchdown passes. And the Buccaneers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, they went play action there and set it up nicely for him. I mean, he can flat fly, and they hit him downfield.
And it doesn't take much to create that extra bit of space that a guy of his speed needs. If you go play action, all you want is just a moment where the guy's covering, take their attention somewhere else, and then he's by him. And once he's by him, there's no catching him. As they always like to say, if a receiver's even to a defensive back, that means he's leaving.
Unless that DB is Charles Davis, right?
In that case, he left me a long time ago.
Come on now.
Trust me.
Extra point up and good by Succop, and it's now 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? Or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. You're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. And it looks looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Throwing here, Purdy. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
On 4th down, the Niners trot out Mitch Wishnowski to punt the football. Taken from just outside the 30. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Brady going to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Evans. And they're going to get this up to midfield. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. From midfield, here's Brady. Looking Mike Evans' way again, and he's got another one. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Well, forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. 2nd quarter now in Tampa Bay. It's the Buccaneers in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Throwing now is Brady. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they got a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. The throw on 2nd down by Brady is incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Again, it's Brady. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down.
Franscisco for the Buccaneers field goal, a 46-yard attempt.
Succop's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps, and the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
The Bucs ready for the kickoff, and here we go. It's in the air. The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They're still in search of an initial 1st down as they come up here 1st and 10. Purdy looking to throw on 1st down here. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
And he's missed now in his first 4 passing attempts. The rhythm is just not there to begin this ball game.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
And that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down, and you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
A very good return that time. 18 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
On 2nd and 10, Brady. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Well, that's one way to convert on third down, picking up 26 yards.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even third down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Brady now to throw. And his throw here is going to be incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Brady. And this is caught by Evans.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
So flagged for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. It's the correct call.
Now, meanwhile, the throw by Brady knocked away, incomplete. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Tom Brady, his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half. And the Bucs are able to add on to their first half lead. The problem, they found a gap there in the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Suck up for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. That time a 6-play drive. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Returning from his end zone is Ray McCloud. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. If they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Purdy. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. And they can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And it's a fumble. And 1st and goal is what it will be at the 6-yard line. Excellent field position.
Well, that sure started out as a good example of what they call backed up or coming out on offense, meaning you're backed up close to your own goal line. Big-time emphasis on practicing that to try and create some room and no less to give the punter a chance to kick the ball away. It means take care of the ball, try and create some space. They were doing that, and the ball comes free.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Brady. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. The 4th touchdown pass of the game for Tom Brady.
And the Bucs will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there. Unable to do so, that makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Extra point try now for Suckup. Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And the Niners get there and bring him down.
Well, I have to admit, I'm scratching my head a little bit here trying to make sense of what I just saw. Number 1, huge lead. Just kick the extra point and be done with it. Number 2, if you are going to go for 2, just line up and go for it from the 2-yard line. Why make it so difficult? That's a long way to go to try and pick up some points.
The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air.
The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it.
Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about him.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Purdy will set up to throw it here.
And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1.
He'll decide to keep this once more.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Give him an even gain of 10, but now it's 4th down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at the 23. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to our downtown Orlando studios in this EA Sports Halftime Report. First up, though, a look at the next-gen stats for the Niners in that first half. And not much went right in those first 2 quarters. You can see the numbers on the ground there. Not a whole lot to write home about so far. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point. The 49ers going to have the football and trailing on the scoreboard as we get back underway on EA Sports. The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. The 49er offense set to go to begin quarter number 3. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
The keeper gets him 7 that time, but it'll lead to a 3rd down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, it's Purdy. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
Well, still in the 3rd quarter here. Now, you look at the scoreboard, that deficit probably a little too much to overcome, but completions like that may be something to build on for future weeks.
Yeah, it's all about ending things on a strong note here, isn't it? Because my mindset is it's a new ball game from here to the end. Make sure it's a good one and close it out.
Following the play here, now we've got an injury. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. The 2nd and 10 now as we roll along in the 3rd quarter from Tampa.
McCaffrey running up the middle. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Well, that ground game just continues to struggle to really get any momentum in this ball game, Charles. And you're at the point here, 3rd quarter, down 4 scores, probably going to have to put it in the air.
Oh, no question about it. So that's your only chance, your only opportunity. But think of the pressure you just put on your offensive line, because if you're a pass rusher, you're not even thinking about them running the football. All you're doing is getting into that sprinter stance and going after the quarterback. As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Here comes the 49ers punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. And we shift to spotlighting Mike Evans. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. This is caught by Evans. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild. And here's another completion for good yardage.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Brady. Over the middle, complete. It's Evans. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third-quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. To throw, it's Brady. And he's going to have the hook up to Gage. Touchdown, Tampa Bay! 5 touchdown passes now for Tom Brady, and the Buccaneers will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Suck up for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. And the 49ers getting set to trot out there.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Purdy. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Carl Nassib shooting in and taking him to the ground. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his Nice defense.
See what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. The offense on third down tonight, it's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be third and forever.
Back to throw, Purdy. And trying to get it to Samuel, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Jamel Dean. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field.
And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Inside handoff down to Fournette. Room here to run.
And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line.
14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
And Brandon, this is where it pays to have a big back who can take over a football game, especially in the fourth quarter when you've got the lead, your ability to not just wear people down, but close games out.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Brady.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete. But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them...
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed watching their execution throughout this contest.
Extra point put through by Succo. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air.
Here's McLeod from his end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests. But in almost all of them, both offenses put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score.
Out of the gun, Purdy. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time.
Now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football. And there he goes, right side. Past the 20. And it's a defensive return for a late touchdown. So they still need somewhat of a miracle here, but at least that gets them a little bit closer.
But that's got to be so disappointing for a defense. You force the fumble, think you got a chance at a turnover, and instead, not only do you give up the football, you also give up a touchdown as well.
Yeah, you just think to yourself, you've done all the hard work, right? You forced the fumble, but when they didn't come...
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play, ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Up the gut, Fournette. Oh, he's got a little daylight. 20. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They did a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Extra point try now for Suckham. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air.
The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it.
The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field.
At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. Silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big, you really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter, but do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run, have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. And let's see, the Bucs with 6 DB, so a dime set here on 3rd down.
Purdy looking to throw.
And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Taking it about the 36. They'll score that a 36-yard punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Mike Evans of the Tampa offense about to set up shop.
This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. There he goes, left side. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
I I know I should keep the focus and the spotlight on the hero that just scored, but tackling's been an issue for this defense all game long. I can't set that aside. We just saw it again here. Missed tackles leads to his long touchdown run.
Suck up for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Purdy to throw it on first down.
Dancing to his left.
And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
This one, and now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. It's a room to maneuver.
As I say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the fourth quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. Mike Evans and the rest of the offensive unit heading back out there now. He's been almost impossible to bottle up. You see that number 10 on your screen, a big reason why they have the lead.
One of the guys that's being featured in this game and making sure that he's targeted because they do trust him with the ball. That's why they go back to him time and time again.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, when they said before the game that they were going to try and execute every second of this contest, I guess that was taken literally, because here they are in the final moments of the fourth, putting another touchdown on the board, Charles, to add to this big lead.
I'm not a big believer in 110%, but it certainly applies here, doesn't it? Because some guys just can't go with less. As long as there's time left on the clock, they're pushing to get to the end zone one more time. They don't really care about what the optics show. They just want to finish the game off the way that they like to play it. Full speed, all out.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. The Niners set to take over on offense. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Levante David.
And the Buccaneers are going to take possession of the football. Well, my goodness, CD, I mean, this defense just continuing to dominate. They're really dominating on both sides of the ball, but for the defense, that's now 3 interceptions for them here in this ball game.
And what a great teaching tape for this defensive coordinator, right? When they go back and review this game, what does he always tell us that he preaches to his team? We're going to lead the league in effort. Well, they're doing that in this game as well as making big plays.
And we shift to spotlighting Mike Evans. And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he is really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. You never want to give up a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver. He's closing in on 200 yards. Wow, that's a really big game.
18 yards there, and it'll be a first and goal.
For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Well, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed to sleep.